Good evening and welcome to the Dan Beasley Show. This is Dan Beasley coming to you from Hartsville, South Carolina. It's 5:01 p.m. It's on June 7th, 2013. We're going to be looking at the news today, different items regarding what the U.S. government is doing, what the latest scandals are, and what is going to be done to check these problems and to correct the problems. Also, we have news coming from the Middle East and also from overseas regarding protests and also armaments, arms sales being made to the Egyptians by John Kerry. Um, let's start out with the TV actress arrested for sending ricin letters. They've traced the ricin letters that were recently sent to Obama and to the New York mayor, Michael Bloomberg, back to an actor or actress rather, and it was Shannon Rogers Guess Richardson was arrested for sending ricin tainted letters to Obama and New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg and the head of the Bloomberg gun group. Richardson's husband Nathaniel was apparently doing just fine. Attention turned to Richardson when she called the FBI. She told them she suspected Nathaniel was sending the letters, which were received at the end of last month. It's also worth noting that there are probably worse ways to draw attention to your illegal activity than to tell the FBI that you think someone in your house did it, but none come to mind. The FBI investigated and determined that Richardson was most likely the suspect, and they noted that the letters emphasized the recipient's opposition to new gun legislation, and she was indicted, and she was indicated in a statement that she was innocent. And of course, she says, "I would not put my unborn child or other children in danger just to frame someone. He simply needed someone to blame for what he'd done. I was the obvious person for him to blame, so most of what is being reported in this case is absolutely inaccurate. That is all that I can say." That is coming from Mrs. Richardson herself. Moving on to the next story. We're going to have another asteroid flyby tomorrow. It's going to be close to the Earth. It's going to be as far away as the moon is from the Earth. We are seeing a lot of near-Earth objects recently, and one recently crashed in Russia and caused a lot of damage to some of the buildings there and some injuries. And they say this is coming out of Yahoo News. It says a small, newly discovered asteroid. That's what it's calling it. Not a meteoroid, not a comet, but an asteroid will pass within the distance from the Earth to the Moon this weekend, and you can watch its approach online on June the 7th, today. The space rock is called 2013 LR6. It's between 16 to 53 feet wide and no danger of hitting the Earth. Experts say the garbage truck-sized asteroid's closest approach will bring it about 68,351 miles, above the surface of the planet tomorrow. You can watch a live asteroid tracking webcast on space.com today that features views and commentary hosted by the Virtual Telescope Project in Italy beginning at 3:30 Eastern Daylight Time, or 1930 Greenwich Mean Time. You can also follow the broadcast directly through the Virtual Telescope Project. They say it's at a very close, safe distance, but it'll be a great show. It's what astrophysicist Gianluca Massi with the Virtual Telescope Project wrote in a statement. Okay, we have had quite a few of those asteroids coming close to the Earth right lately. Something has disturbed these objects and is not being talked about by NASA, of course. And we know that prophecy says that these things will happen before the end of time, according to the King James Version of the Bible. In the books of Daniel and Revelation and Matthew, There were the discussions on what space events would be occurring, and uh, some of them involved asteroids hitting the Earth's water systems and contaminating them to the point of where a third of mankind will die from the poison. Uh, it should be noted that asteroids and meteorites all contain chemicals that contain cyanide and other chemicals that can cause death to human beings. So it doesn't take a rock to fall on you to die from one. This would be sort of like a secondary effect. Moving along, we've got Tropical Storm Andrea zipping up the East Coast. We in South Carolina encountered it yesterday, last night, and this morning. We received like 3 inches of rain in this locale here, um, and some wind, but not a lot of wind, not a lot of damage, but a lot of rain and a lot of flooding. So anyway, not substantial flooding to where it would cause a lot of loss of real estate or what have you. But this story is coming out of Raleigh, North Carolina. It says after bringing rains and heavy winds and even tornadoes to parts of Florida, the tropical storm Andrea moved quickly across Georgia and was leaving the Carolinas waterlogged on Friday, while sparing any other area serious damage. First named storm of the Atlantic season lost some intensity after making landfall Thursday in Florida, and its winds were down to 45 miles per hour Friday. Ben Nelson, a meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Jacksonville, Florida, says Andrea was moving at a pretty brisk pace and could lose its tropical characteristics Friday. The storm forecast is forecast to move out of North Carolina this evening and north up along the Delmarva Peninsula and into New England. A tropical storm warning for the Atlantic coast has moved north with the storm, updated at 2 p.m. to extend from Little River Inlet in South Carolina to Lower Chesapeake Bay in Virginia. Authorities in Virginia blamed heavy rain from the storm's outer bands for a fatal accident, and this fatality occurred in Lexington, South Carolina. It happened when the car hydroplaned while passing a tractor trailer, and he survived the crash only to be killed moments later when the car was struck by a second tractor trailer. So anyway, we've kind of like been lucky in this respect, considering what the people in Oklahoma have been going through with the tornado outbreaks and such. There is a new virus that's on the loose. It's called MERS coronavirus, and they're tracking the outbreak right now. They're looking at it, and it involves Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia. There's a large breakout there. It's slamming Saudi Arabia right now. Travelers are being warned about the death toll and the prevalence of this virus in Saudi Arabia. Right now, the virus has killed 40 people. I'm sorry, the virus has killed 31 people. And Saudi Arabia has been hit hardest with 40 cases, 25 of them fatal. So it's a new virus, respiratory virus, and people are being advised to cover their mouths during coughs and sneezes and to seek immediate medical attention, which could result in a period of isolation if tests for the virus come back positive. So anyway, we've got pestilence in the news, and that also is one of the things predicted as part of the end times by the New Testament, the books in the Bible that concern themselves with prophecy. U.S. employers sit on huge piles of cash. Today's employment report from the Labor Department is the most closely watched monthly economic survey. It's expected to be by far the biggest concern for the stock market today. The number of new jobs created last month comes in somewhere Above 160,000 and below 200,000, investors may be happy, but a very strong report could reignite fears of interest rate hikes and early end to the Federal Reserve's bond buying program. A weak survey would also add speculation that growth is slowing down. The Dow Jones Index gained 80 points yesterday after losses during the 2 previous days. The job market has improved in the past year, but unemployment is still way above average levels. Fox News is reporting that the true number for unemployment is 30.7%. That includes all people, whether they're in the system being counted as unemployed and it's drawing unemployment, or if they've fallen off of the roll books due to the fact that you can only draw 99 weeks of unemployment. So, anyway, moving to the next story. We have a story that's almost like science fiction. Researchers have invented an invisibility cloak. Researchers at Purdue University have developed an invisibility cloak that uses time to make things disappear. A lot of people have seen the invisibility cloak in Harry Potter movies. And in scientific research terms, that is a spatial cloak. What we've done involves time cloaking. And they said it has been a lot bigger than they had expected. It's great, and they're trying to soak it all in. But it's working on a principle called Lucan's method, which creates moments in time where things can occur undetected. Time cloaking is relatively new. It's based on the idea that there are places in time where if something were to happen, it wouldn't be picked up, so no one can tell that it occurred. Anyway, without going into the details of that, the only thing that you need to know is that it hides the object that it's cloaking. So it's an invisibility cloak. It allows something to be invisible and undetectable. Rush Limbaugh, this story is coming from him, from WND.com. Rush Limbaugh is saying we're in the midst of a coup and there's a lot to be concerned about. Going on into the story, he's talking about this week's revelations about the federal government collecting massive amounts of communication data on American citizens has the nation's most listened to radio voice saying that Barack Obama is leading a coup against the nation. What everybody knows and nobody wants to come to grips with is that we are in the midst of a coup taking place, talk show host Rush Limbaugh said Friday. It's almost on a par with when he said, when Rush Limbaugh made a statement that he says, I hope he fails. How does that sound now, by the way? He says, what's wrong with calling this a coup? He continued, there's a lot to be concerned about. This is a guy, don't forget, is convincing people that this kind of stuff is never going to happen here. This is the guy who got elected by telling us that what is happening now was never going to happen when he was president. He got elected warning us that what was happening now was happening in 2008. And he says it's now it's more sweeping than it's ever been before. I guess you are well aware of now that the government, the NSA, collected en masse data, telephone tracking data from major carriers, mobile carriers, landline carriers, and also digital devices such as PCs and laptops and notepads and things of that nature. So we've got that in the news as well. Along with that, there is a story that's coming up on WND Politics. It's talking about the Intel chief misled Congress on the NSA snooping. And they're saying, they were asking questions about National Intelligence James Clapper Did he mislead lawmakers when he told the Senate committee hearing 3 months ago that the NSA does not willingly